you know what's going on in regards to the recent global news article that covered the false allegations against me. And so 3 years ago in 2023, the complainant, so the person who put the complaint against me, went directly to the city and said, listen, these allegations are completely false. I'm formally withdrawing them.
Who pressurized this female to put an allegation at first point on you?
I'm requesting the City Council to do the right thing and to correct the record, to take the defamatory report offline, and to make a public acknowledgement that these allegations were fully withdrawn and that the complainant regrets making these false allegations against me.
There was a settlement of $60,000 between you and complainant, and you used the city funds to make that settlement. Is that right?
You know, when somebody speaks out, there's a lot of people who are going to throw out rumors. And we're going to probably hear more rumors now, particularly now that this issue has come up. And in my absence, we've seen a city in decline. We've seen corruption. We've seen crime at an all-time high where people are scared to come out of their house. We see a high cost of living, and we see a 27% tax increase.
Do you have plans to run in this coming October election in Brampton?
Correct the record, clear it from their website, make a public acknowledgement of it, and allow me to reestablish my name and my reputation, which they've tried to tarnish in the last 4 years.
Are you planning to sue the city? Is the legal battle going on between you and City of Brampton? Because you also mentioned that $6 million of lawsuit can go against city if they don't expunge the report, if they don't clear the records against you?
So I don't think anybody in the city is interested in having me back and speak upon the decline of the city in the last 4 years and what's actually went on. As I mentioned, there's nobody speaking up right now.
Okay, in case city don't go ahead with the expunge the report against you, if they go ahead with as it is, if they don't erase the records of allegations against you, then what are your options? What will be your plan? Still you will be running for councillor seat?
My opponent ran probably one of the most dirtiest and disgusting campaigns we've ever seen in the history of this city. And I think their record in the last 4 years just shows you what kind of campaign and what kind of term that they've had. It's been riddled with scandals. It's been riddled with corruption.
Because in 2019, whole of the transcript was published. What happened in Turkey and all those reports, 268-page report, which highlighted that complainant said no 74 times in 3 minutes. Do you want to say that everything was false? Everything was under pressure? Somebody asked her to do that? Because if city says there was a deal between both of you guys, and if these allegations were wrong, but your reputation was at stake, do you want to take that complainant to the legal battle also? We have Brampton's former regional councillor Gurpreet Singh Dhillon with us in our show. In 2022, he lost the elections after the allegations on him, after the city's trade mission to Turkey, and there was a big Turkey scandal in 2019. Then he was removed with suspension from his job for 90 days suspension, and there were allegations on him. In 2023, the complainant, she withdrew the allegations, and now what happened after that? Gurpreet ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
What happened? There were allegations on you, and in 2022, you lost the elections and you were away from the public domain. So what happened after that? And now this is the election year in City of Brampton. So what are your plans? What are your demands from the City or Integrity Commissioner? And what are the updates on that Turkey scandal?
Well, just to correct you as well, VG, my pay was suspended. I was never suspended from my position as councillor. And so I'll give you a quick background on what's going on.
Yes.
And so in 2022, we very narrowly lost our election by 227 votes. And currently, I'll give you, I'll let you know what's going on in regards to the recent global news article that covered the false allegations against me. And so 3 years ago in 2023, the complainant, so the person who put the complaint against me, went directly to the city and said, listen, these allegations are completely false. I'm formally withdrawing them. And what they did was they said that they were pressurized to make these allegations, and they also mentioned that they have deep regret for making these false allegations
So
against
who
me.
pressurized,
And
Gurpreet ji,
at that time,
yeah, who pressurized this female to put an allegation at first point on you?
well, this is something that they can definitely, if we ever find out, they can definitely let everybody know. But in due time, hopefully down the road, we'll be able to find that out. But 3 years ago, at that time, this false integrity commissioner report should have been canceled. It should have been voided. The city was provided undeniable proof that these allegations in this report were completely false. But instead, for 3 years, city officials sat on it. They didn't clear my name. All of the council members knew. They were given updates. City officials knew what was going on as well, but many were there to obstruct and to block the clearance of my name, just to ruin and destroy my reputation. So, anyways, after 3 years, when I realized that they were not going to clear me, rightfully clear me, I wrote an email to all council members alone. And within this email, I provided all proof. I provided all correspondence that I had with their lawyers. And what happened was that this email was then leaked to the global news. And this is a situation where we are right now. I'm requesting the city council to do the right thing and to correct the record, to take the defamatory report offline, and to make a public acknowledgement that these allegations were fully withdrawn and that the complainant regrets making these false allegations against me.
From the city side, they also said that there was a settlement of $60,000 between you and complainant, and you used the city funds to make that settlement. Is that right?
That was the city solicitor at that time said there was nothing of the sort that happened. And so what you're going to have, Vijay, is many people who, when somebody speaks out, there's a lot of people who are going to throw out rumors. And we're going to probably hear more rumors now, particularly now that this issue has come up. And because they fear that I will come back and I'll talk about the 4 years that just happened. And so when we talk about from 2022 to 2026, in my absence, we've seen a city in decline. We've seen corruption. We've seen crime at an all-time high where people are scared to come out of their house. We see a high cost of living, and we see 27% tax increase. And so nobody in the city has addressed this. They've done nothing to fix this. And so they're worried that I'll come back and I'll be a voice to highlight this negative record.
So, Mr. Dhillon, do you have plans to run in this coming October election in Brampton?
So this October 26, 2026, for the election, I will be putting my name in the race. And I think it's important that I get back in and I become a voice for the people. There's too many people telling me, hey, Gurpreet, since you've been gone, in your absence, we've seen a decline in the city, as I mentioned just previously. And so we're going to come back, be a voice. We're going to increase services. We're going to decrease or stop these major, these crippling tax increases on people.
As of today, what we heard that you are demanding from the Integrity Commissioner or the City of Brampton that your demand is that sexual misconduct report should be expunged, means erase total records against you from their records because the complainant, she withdrew the allegations in 2023. Is that your demand right now from the Integrity Commissioner?
I'm asking it's not in the Integrity Commissioner's hands. It's completely within Council's hands. The Integrity Commissioner just gives recommendations. Council makes the final decision. What we're asking them to do is to do the right thing, correct the record, clear it from their website, make a public acknowledgement of it, and allow me to reestablish my name and my reputation, which they've tried to tarnish in the last 4 years.
Okay. Are you planning to sue the city? Is the legal battle going on between you and City of Brampton? Because you also mentioned that 6 million of lawsuit can go against city if they don't expunge the report, if they don't clear the records against you.
So we've sent the city a notice. We've indicated to them that we're going to put a $6 million lawsuit on the city. I've also told them in the last email I sent them that all we want is our name cleared. We're willing to drop um, the lawsuit completely and ask for no money because at the end of the day, we're interested in clearing our name. We're interested in doing the right thing and correcting the record.
So, what is city's
Um,
response now on this
the
email?
city has not responded. As I've told you, Vijay, the city doesn't, I don't think anybody in the city is interested in having me back and speak upon the decline of the city in the last 4 years and what's actually went on. As I mentioned, there's nobody speaking up right now. That's something that they fear.
Gurpreet ji, in 2022, when the election happened, that time the Councillor Tu ran a very low ball campaign against you after all the allegations which you had on you. Does that hurt sometime because you denied all the allegations and there was an election campaign which was quite a low ball and whole of the Brampton they watched that, and any plans to go after them or to the go after the complainant, because the complainant, if they withdraw the complaint from you after saying I was pressurized and the city said there was a deal between you and complainant, why can't there be a legal action against complainant? Because the reputation was on stake and you went through all those years after having those allegations.
Well, we're going to examine all options. All options are on the table. I think when you speak about the last election, my opponent ran probably one of the most dirtiest and disgusting campaigns we've ever seen in the history of this city. And I think their record in the last 4 years just shows you what kind of campaign and what kind of term that they've had. It's been riddled with scandals. It's been riddled with corruption. And the question I ask people all the time is, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And almost 100% of the time I'm hearing, no, we are much worse off. We're scared to come out of our house. Our car's been stolen. Some of the biggest employers in Brampton have left. If you go down Airport Road between Sandalwood and Beauvais, it's like you're driving on a road in India with so many potholes. And so we've seen the physical decline in our infrastructure. We've seen the decline in the financial situation for our residents. And so when we talk, going back to what you asked, and when we speak about that campaign, I think we've seen the stark contrast, the difference. It's like night and day between when I was there and when entering this term of council as well.
You said you may explore all the options, but the complainant, because in 2019 whole of the transcript was published, what happened in Turkey and all those report, 268-page report which highlighted that complainant said no 74 times in 3 minutes. Do you want to say that everything was false, everything was under pressure, somebody asked her to do that? Because if city says there was a deal between both of you guys, and if these allegations were wrong but your reputation was at stake, do you want to take that complainant to the legal battle also?
Like I mentioned before, that first rumor was completely shot down by our city solicitor at the time. And secondly, like I mentioned, we're going to examine all of our options. There's a lot of things going on right now. There's an election. There's this news. There's a lot of other things as well. And what I can say is that, the last 4 years I've had time to spend with my family, time to spend with my kids who are avid basketball fans. And so, they've suffered a lot. My wife, my elderly parents who live with me suffered a lot as well. And what we're looking for is to correct the record, for council to do the right thing, for us to move forward from it. And I'm willing to work with anybody on council, any member of council, to make our city better again. And I hope they join me in when we talk about our solutions to correcting what's went on in the past 4 years, whether it's the massive property tax increases, whether it's the high cost of living, whether it's out of control crime. And I'm going to give you an example, Virji, of the stark difference between the last 4 years. I was able to get a community police station brought to fully funded, costed. We had a ceremony for it as well. It was going to be brought to Gore Meadows Recreation Center. And that was my first step into bringing a complete police station here. Unfortunately, after I left, even that got scrapped. Crime has went up, and now where are they putting a police station? They're putting it in west of the 410, not in our ward. So I'm very disappointed in that. And people are disappointed in that as well. And so the great gains we made, we've seen them all went to waste. But it's still not too late. Come October, when we come back into this position, we're going to be able to bring some of these services and this, I guess you can say, safety back into our wards.
Okay. Allegations on you, and you termed that as politically motivated. And then you also filed a judicial review to quash the report. But Superior Court, Ontario Superior Court, that time they dismissed your challenge in 2021. And why you termed as a politically motivated? What do you think? Why against you? What was the political purpose of anybody to have a politically motivated allegations against you?
Well, the judicial reviews was simply on the process. We said the process wasn't followed. It had nothing to do with the content of the report. We said that this process that the Integrity Commissioner followed was incorrect. She allowed the person who put the complaint to come in touch with many different members of the city. She started the process even before there was a complaint made, and so that was very peculiar to us at the time. And so we put the judicial review. It was found that she was allowed to follow the process, which we still to this day disagree with, and perhaps maybe that's even related to some of the pressurization. So I'm not sure. Okay. But what I can say is that had nothing to do with any of the content or the allegations made against you. Simply, we said, hey, the process wasn't followed. We gave them a few points, and so we respected that decision. But again, nothing to do with any of the allegations against me. So the false allegations, I might add.
Okay. In case city don't go ahead with the expunge the report against you, if they go ahead with as it is, if they don't erase the records of allegations against you, then what are your options? What will be your plan? Still, you will be running for councillor seat?
Yes, 100% we're going to be running. Vijay, whether they, clear my name and quash this report or expunge this report or not, I think the public has clearly seen what the truth is. And I think they've clearly seen the difference between when Gurpreet Singh Dhillon is in the seat as regional councillor and when I'm not. Services have declined. This job is picking up calls. It's attending people's houses. It's finding solutions to challenges and to problems that are in the ward. I think a lot of the times the misconception is that, politicians, we get into power and, we live a very luxurious lifestyle. Not the case at all. I had, for 8 years, people sitting in my living room at 8 a.m. And demanding answers, and rightfully so. I'm going to be a councillor to solve their problems, to attend people's, houses when they have a problem at their particular house or their street. And so that's what the name of the game is, to keep their taxes low. And I'm not here to enrich myself. I'm not here to buy properties. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to make sure that people are making money, that business is thriving, that there's jobs here. Take a look at Countryside Road towards Highway 50, all the business we were able to bring, Highway 410 in Mayfield, all of that business we were able to bring as well. And so we want our people to flourish. I'm not doing this for my own pocketbook. And people ask me that same question. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself and your family through this? It's not for me. I made a commitment in 2014 when I was sworn in. I gave an oath that I would do my best for my city. I'm very proud of this city. I'm very proud of my wards. I'm very proud of my record. And we stand by that. But we're not going to give up. And there's too many people that have urged me to come back because they're not satisfied with what they see.
Gurpreetji, we will discuss all those concerns and issues in coming time, because we know there are a lot of issues involving one field to the other. There are a lot of issues, and we'll definitely in future we'll discuss on those also, because now the main thing is that you are putting your name for the elections, and there were allegations on you, and you're sending a notice to the city, and there was a global news report came out recently. And out of all this, what message you want to give to the Bramptonians, to the Ward 9 and 10 residents who elected you previously, and then you went through a bad phase with the allegations, and now you want to fight it and you want to come back, and your message to the Bramptonians?
Well, my message is that we're going to be running. I look forward to the support of Wards 9 and 10 residents. Take a look at my record and take a look at what I've done. Take a look at how I've stood by you 24 hours a day for 8 years straight. And so day one, we're going to ask for an investigation into all property deals, all contracts in the last 4 years. And one of the major things I'm going to do is what they do for MPPs and MPs is make it mandatory that all councillors disclose all of their assets, all of their properties, and all of their finances. And if anybody is interested, I can release whatever tax information I have, and I encourage everybody else to do the same as well.
So you are basically challenging every elected official.
And accountability,
Okay.
and that's what I'm going to be fighting for.
Okay. And we wish you all the best for your future, and keep fighting for your rights, and our best wishes are with you, Gurpreet ji.
Thank you.
Thank you.